me, it is very exciting to get in a personal contact with all the colleagues. For me, it's very important to have this interaction between a real person. The debates are very interesting about what we're gonna do to develop this art form, to bring it to a wider audience. Not the question about what we are.
Yes.
We are artists.
Yes.
We're working with different tools, and we work with different opportunities and strategies and all that. That is relevant. And the way of thinking how we can bring this art form to the audience. Not only to the artist audience, also to the political audience, to the decided developer of TV programs or internet platform programs or whatever. That is for me important. Sharing our art form with a wider audience.
And then do you think the audience is going to determine what we make?
I think it's not a one-way street in communication. For us it's very important, that's my opinion, to develop also the audience and also us.
So how do you think we can develop or educate?
Education, that's more education, to show them the abilities of making our art form. It's a kind of expression. It's very fresh and new. It's new. It's a modern way of expression. Your personal body related to the world. And that is a very important issue.
And I think young people understand that a lot because of mobility and mobile technologies.
Absolutely. And we all live in body motion defined communities. It's absolute relevant.
Nomadic.
Yeah. And this is kind of new language we create. We can show them, okay, look what we are doing, and you got the opportunity to do it again for yourself.
Yeah.
That is important.
Hallo, ich bin Kerstin Hamburg vom Tanzrauschen Festival in Wuppertal. Das ist unser erstes Festival, was wir veranstaltet haben, und ich bin sehr stolz, diese ganzen internationalen Gäste hier versammelt zu haben und sehen zu können. Und ich habe viele neue Freunde gefunden, ich habe viele tolle Filme gesehen und das Publikum in Wuppertal ist begeistert.
The most challenging or the most impressive thing was really like meeting all the people from different countries and think about which kind of network you can create and what's connecting us or what's unifying or what's our common ground, and then how you can go on with the Dance on Green project, everybody individually and bring their own expertise in. For some it might be a bit blurry or not very concrete, but I think in the last session we could achieve something and also structure a way to go on with it, and I think that's very great.
I think the most important thing out of any conversation is the chance to communicate, chance to share ideas, the network, sharing our difficulties, which are actually quite similar across the board, and together we will hopefully in the future be able to make change and to improve the situation for all of us, but together.
I have the honor to be here. The conference was great because I felt that somehow we met and we started having a vision together. I think this collective way of working together, I think this urgent need to not just exchange practices through emails or through works, but this need to physically meet and support arts, artists, visions. So I think that was the most important thing.
So I've been here at the festival for the last 2 days, engaging with the conference, which is, entitled Questions Around the Grounding of a Screendance Commission. So questions have arisen around education, the education of audience, the education of, primarily the education of audience in fact, and not the education of the artist, which is kind of great. Because I think there's this ongoing question in Screendance about who's our audience? because as curators, we want audience to see the work, but equally as artists, we make our work. There's responsibility on the artists and the curators to find a way not to box in the work that we do into one particular thing.
It's been really interesting. We had some great discussions, and I look forward to more of that.
And what's been the most contentious thing you've heard today, in the last 2 days?
That's because we just did it, the thing about the music rights. Because we just had this thing that we had to pay €1,000 for 3 minutes, while the filmmaker thought, well, just use it, it's no problem. And then the Sony said, no, you cannot use it.
I think the idea to have a conference for the festival and representatives of the dance film makers and that kind of is very important. I think that so far getting to know, meeting people and sharing ideas and expectations also is very inspiring. And I hope that after this day, we will have some kind of conclusion what we could do in a network of dance on screen.
That I think the overall topic is probably how to create visibility of the art form and what shall we call it and what is it, which is we're going to talk about more now.
But why do you think we keep on talking about this? Because every conference we go to, we spend time talking about redefining the form.
Because I think it keeps redefining itself and it keeps developing, and that's also why I don't think that we should. I mean, it's interesting to have these conversations, but I don't think that we should try to label it. I don't think it needs a label. I think instead of thinking in boxes, we should start thinking more in a more fluid way.
This communal feeling that you have every time at a festival, like this a lot. Like we met and we said, oh, we're going to be in July in the same city. So this is very nice. So I like this connecting moments that you have at festivals.
Doesn't make us feel so isolated.
5 short films to screen 1 long film.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I know. And then yes, you have to kind of like still encourage the ambition of that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think it's great, like a 30-minute film. But it sounds, brilliant.
But actually,
it's very hard.
It's a challenging format because it's kind of on the border to, does it fit into like festivals, the way that they curate the films or like put the programs together?
I mean, all lengths are welcome, but it's just the problem is that you only have so many time slots, and then it takes up a lot of space.
Because sometimes dance film is too comfortable. It's just too comfortable. It's too beautiful and it's too comfortable.
Yeah, no, it's too
It's too beautiful.
It is too beautiful. I'm exhausted from looking at beautiful dance film.
Yeah.
And, art is not always beautiful.
No.
And the world is not beautiful. So how are we representing the world?
Very pretty.
Thanks.
And if you double tap it, then it so it's on a loop for about a minute.
This is completely surreal. I see your thing in mine, and in his, I can even go like this.
And
And then you have another one here.
And sometimes they happen in different timing, so it loops differently.
Oh, this one I like a lot.
There I was hiding in a cupboard. I was very scared. Oh, that's nice. Because now they're out of sync, you see?
Yeah, I see.
Was war die Idee für dieses? 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 That's a very liked one. Can you? My one.
Nice.
Yeah, this one actually goes that way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
After two very intensive days of speaking and having debates, and we have all that to establish a kind of network, we are now here to celebrate our art form. And that is wonderful to see you all here. And we hope we are on a road further to develop our art form. In the following 3 days, we have the great opportunity to discover this exciting and touching and overwhelming visual world that Dance on Screen is creating. And this art form gives us the artistic approach to reflect about the human body related to the environment, to an environment that is changing. That is very important to have a tool to express all these things in an artistic way. So to all our colleagues, friends and festivals from all around Europe for sending us their treasures. It's very, I love this idea. Your treasures of films, curators and artists. And I would like to say again, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. It's really a delighted situation for everyone here. Thank you for that.
Begrüßen Sie mit mir Jeannette Ginslov. Sie ist eine wirkliche Expertin für Screendance. Es ist wirklich ihr Metier, sowohl als Künstlerin als auch im Akademischen. Aber alles andere soll sie selber sagen. Welcome, Jeannette Ginslov. Okay, we could go into your work, but as we said before, you are here today as a representative of the African Screendance scene. How did that come together? How did you get to represent African Screendance?
Yeah, it feels a bit strange to be this being representing Africa, I was born in South Africa in Durban to Danish parents, so just to give you a bit of context. I met up with another filmmaker in South Africa in 2012, and we'd been talking about screen dance just generally in South Africa and trying to look at the context within the rest of Africa, and nothing was really shifting. So then we decided to create this company. It's a PTY limited company, Screendance Africa, and in a way, our mission is to grow the media through workshops, through screenings, and then to reach out to international audiences. And so far we've been in Hong Kong at the iDance Festival over there, and now this is our second international engagement. So I'm very pleased to be here. It's really great.
Ja, es geht also wirklich darum. Es geht ihr also wirklich darum, den afrikanischen Tanzfilm stark zu machen, international zu präsentieren. And let me ask you, would you say there's something special, specific about African screen dance, like in comparison to European or North American screen dance?
Well, I think also forgot to mention that our mission is to, for African filmmakers to use their own voice to create African films rather than the sort of old neo-colonial sort of voice coming in and speaking for Africans. So I think this is creating kinds of work that are very raw, they're a bit dogma orientated, and there's not many special effects because there's no technical skills, although there are filmmakers now working together with choreographers. So hopefully we'll see a shift, not that one wants us to create a film with special effects. So I think that the films really speak to the context of the African condition and the African experience, which is filled with contrast, contradictions, and that's where I think that the medium gets very exciting, because the medium can then amplify that and bring that to the rest of the world as well.
Thank you very much, Jeannette Ginslov.